So I don't know if you're the kind of person that cries during movies. I'm certainly not one of those people. Not very often, anyway. But this summer, I was watching a film with my kids, the big blockbuster hit, Hotel Transylvania 2. Maybe you've seen it. And at the end, there was a scene where the small boy, who's the hero of the film, is surrounded by bad guys, and it looks like all is lost. And then the last minute, his family comes and rescues him. And it's a very happy scene. But I found myself overcome with emotion. I couldn't figure out why at first. This is the best part of the movie. My kids are cheering. Everyone was doing well. And what I realized was that I couldn't save my daughter like those characters could save their small son. My daughter Tegan's 11. She's an amazing little girl, but she has some health issues. She was born normally, but then at 1 year old, her pediatrician noticed that she had some delays. Now, being our first child, we thought everything was normal. But by 18 months, they diagnosed her with autism. This is the earliest you can diagnose somebody with that condition, and it's been a lifelong situation for her. She doesn't have the ability to communicate. So as you can imagine, it makes life sort of interesting. She can't tell us her basic wants and needs. She can push us in the kitchen when she wants food, which always works. She can say, go, or all done, when she wants you to leave her alone. But beyond that, it's been a struggle. And then 2 years ago, Tegan started having seizures. Now, I knew there was a big crossover between epileptic kids and autistic kids, but I thought we missed that boat. But at age 9, she had her first seizure, and she's had them almost on a weekly basis since. And the reason why it's been so difficult for me is that I'm somebody who has means and resources. I work at J&J, the largest healthcare company in the world. I have so many researchers and friends and people that are in the healthcare business that I can connect with, and I have. I've called every chit that I can. I know how to read a study. I know how to research clinical trials. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, next to UCSF and Stanford, some of the top research facilities in the world. And we tried so many things. And yet, once every 10 days, she has a seizure. Now, some of these are pretty mild. She sort of will just drift off and sort of be absent. But others are more serious. She has grand mal seizures in some pretty bad places that have seizures. She's had so many seizures in the shower. I have no idea why. We've looked into research whether it's caused by the water. It's not. We tried different medications with her. I give her a handful of pills every morning, a handful of pills at night, and no matter what, she still has seizures. And I think, there has to be an answer. There has to be something. I took her to Stanford to get an EEG reading to see if there's a particular region of the brain that the seizures are coming from. This might tell us how to direct her treatment better. There are dozens and dozens of medications. And typically what you do is you ramp a child up on a medication for 4 to 6 weeks to give it time to interact. And if it works, great. If not, you either continue to increase it or add a second one in. We've added second, third, fourth, and still no answer. At Stanford, where I was talking to the child neurologist, and I said, well, what can we really do? I feel like I don't really want to have brain surgery for my daughter. That's the option if medicines don't work. She said, well, there's always SUDEP. I said, what's SUDEP? It stands for sudden unexpected death from epilepsy. This isn't the kind of death where you fall and crack your head when your muscle tone goes away. Although my daughter has had seizures in the pool, for instance. Luckily, her nanny could see her having one and pull her out so she didn't drown. This is not like that. SUDEP is different. SUDEP is simply of a seizure and you don't wake up. Your heart stops and never restarts. Every time Tegan has a seizure, in the back of my mind, I'm wondering, is this the last time that I'm going to see her alive? She had a seizure on Sunday, a pretty severe one. She was at the dining room table having breakfast. I was doing laundry in my bedroom. My 9-year-old son shouts out, "Dad, come quick, Tegan's having a seizure." And I run out, and she's splayed out on the floor. Her head's banging against the hardwood floor. She's drooling. Her lips are turning purple. She's making a choking sound. And I can't do anything to stop it. All I can do is hold her head so she doesn't bash it into the ground. The next day, she woke up later than normal. Seizures take a lot out of you physically, so they tend to make you really tired. But the problem we have is that if I let her sleep in too much, she misses the time to have her medicines. So I woke her up and gave her medicine. The problem is the medicine makes her nauseous. She got sick. She had to stay home from school, and I had to miss my flight that day. We have a text message group of the caregivers between me, my wife, Tegan's teacher, her therapist, her nanny. And we constantly text about when she's having a seizure so we can record these and document them. And it's terrifying to get a text message and you're away for a business trip or at the office, you're an hour away, and Tegan had a seizure. She's choking. It lasted a minute and 30 seconds. So while this has certainly been a difficult time for me and my family, the thing that I take comfort in is that although I can't solve my daughter's problem or haven't been able to figure out the answer for what's going on, I take great pride in coming to work every day. Because I do work at a healthcare company. I work at a place at J&J and J Labs where we have so many innovators and entrepreneurs working on potential solutions for me and my family. This summer I was at a conference in Boston, and there was a part of our group we had to go work at the booth we had at J&J. And I really didn't want to do it. I had so many emails piling up and deadlines I was missing. And I didn't want to be a booth babe for an hour. Just kind of stand there and network and shake hands and smile. But I did. And the first person that came up to me was an entrepreneur, and he said, "Hi, I'm working on a treatment for epilepsy. We have a headset that could potentially predict when seizures are going to occur." I thought, "Oh my God, tell me more, I'm interested." And that was one of two people with the same sort of treatment that came up to me randomly at this booth at J&J. And I felt like, you know what? I'm not a scientist. I'm not an investor. But I can help this company make a connection that could lead them to develop their treatment. And to me, that makes me feel good coming into work every day. At J Labs, there are so many companies with amazing stories and amazing science. And what I try to do as a former journalist is help them tell their stories. I spent 13 years as a writer for some of the biggest outlets in the world. I was writing stories for the New York Times at age 23. I spent 7 years at Bloomberg. I've been on TV. I've written for Business Week and other outlets. And I spent years interviewing thousands and thousands of executives. And there's certain key skills that I've noticed that stick out. Most of all is having a good story. And I realized as I came to the PR industry that these skills are vital across no matter what you do. If you're trying to raise funds, if you're trying to impress doctors to use your treatment, if you're trying to hire people and make them want to work for you, if you're trying to grow your company, you need to have a good story. So I take great pride in the fact that I can lend my skills to companies at J Labs. To me, we all have healthcare stories. Mine may seem remarkable to you, but not to others. In fact, I feel lucky. There are a lot of parents that I know that I talk to who have a lot worse situations. So it's important that we recognize that no matter what our status is or our role is, we can all help the future of healthcare come into reality by taking time to do networking, to shake hands, to pass a card on, to help somebody tell their story. Let me help you tell yours. Thank you.